make you rest upon me. You know I got you. Now me be your friend indeed. I want the money that show now. I don't keep some for you. You know go suffer, cause everything I got now for me and you, yeah.
How are you, my friend?
How are you, my friend?
How do you do, my friend?
How do you do?
I know sometimes it be like saying nobody's in you. That's when I did for you, my friend.
I did for you,
My friend.
I did for you, my.
I know sometimes it be like saying nobody's sent you. That's when I did for you, my friend. I did no vex for me. Say I never call you since, but I hope that you are well. I hope your market sell. Every day I dey pray for you. Make you Baba God bless you. I never forget you. I gon' forget you. See my shoulder, make you rest upon me. You know I got you. Now me be your friend indeed. The money don't show now. I don't keep some for you. You know go so far. Cause anything I get now for me and you. Yeah. How are you, my friend? How do you do, my friend? I know sometimes it feel like say nobody sent you. That's when I did for you, my friend. Oremi atata, you always stay in my mind. Padi me gone, gone, gone. I cherish you with my life. Don't worry yourself, oh. Everything go day alright. And if anybody try.
All right. It is Nigeria's first real estate radio, Cedarwood luxury online radio. My name is David, and it is the Real Estate in Nigeria program that comes your way every Monday at 1 p.m. And what we do here on the show every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Did I say Monday? Every Wednesday at 1 p.m. In case I said Monday, that's a slip of tongue. Yeah, this program comes your way every Wednesday at 1 p.m. It brings to you real estate informative, educative conversations, exclusive interviews with players in the real estate industry. And as well, it opens your mind, your understanding. It draws your attention to, happenings in the real estate industry. And this afternoon is not an exception. A big apology. We had a little network glitch at the beginning of this session, and we are back live online. Do well to like, to comment, and to share either live on Facebook and on YouTube. Like I made mention earlier, before we had the little network challenge, we'll be having a documentary this morning a documentary that talks about real estate scam in Nigeria. It is something that you all would learn from. It is not to scare you from doing real estate in Nigeria. It is not to make you weary and get worried unnecessarily, but to, help you take informed decisions so you know the right steps to take, the right channel to go through when it comes to real estate investment. All right. So do well to like and also comment and share. We'll take that very video quickly. When we return, we'll say a few things and then we'll call it a day on the show.
Everything else seems to be a fraud.
It is unbelievable.
More than 200 prospective tenants have been defrauded.
Lagos, Nigeria is a big city where dreams are made. Little wonder then why Martins and his new bride decided to move here. A few months after their wedding, the young couple had traveled across the country to join the more than 15 million people living in this bubbling city. The good news though was, Martins and his wife had an unfair advantage. The couple had been saving a large percentage of their salaries for this very moment. These savings would give them a head start in this new land where they had no one to turn to for help if things go south. Their jobs were not going to be a problem because they both worked remotely. This was then a dream relocation, but the timing was heavily influenced by an agent Martins had been speaking with for months. This agent had informed Martins that he finally found a perfect land for the couple in a choice neighborhood. The price was fair, it had the necessary title documents, and there was no litigation on the property. Days after arrival in Lagos, Martins and his wife were taken to the location of this property. He was excited. The owner of the property was in some financial crisis. The land had been in his family for generations, and everyone could testify to this. Everyone he came with. To avoid spending too much money on lawyers and surveyors and whatnot, Martins asked for the original documents of the land. He had a friend who could check to make sure they were genuine, and so the documents were provided. Martins sent pictures of these documents to the friend, who glanced through and said everything was in order. This confirmation, which took less than a day, gave Martins great joy as he was about to become a property owner less than a week after moving to Lagos State. The agent urged Martins to make payments as soon as possible because other people were beginning to show interest in the land. So, with no further delay, the young couple made the transfer and the documents were handed over. A few months after this transaction was done, Martin started construction on his land. But as he went to inspect work on his site one morning, two cars pulled up, one belonging to the police, while another was for a man who claimed to be the real owner of the property. The police wasted no time in placing handcuffs on Martins, who was accused of trespassing and illegal development of another man's land. Martins tried to explain that he bought the land and has documents in his possession that will validate his ownership of this land. But the man came prepared with his own documents as well. The shock on Martins' face said it all. He had been duped. He pleaded with the police to let him call the agent and the landlord that sold him the property. He was sure there was a mix-up somewhere. The lines were switched off. Both the agent and the landlord that sold this property to Martins were never real. They were just hustlers on the streets of Lagos. And this would be Martins' welcome to Lagos moment. But this is not peculiar to Lagos State. Real estate scams are becoming rampant in Nigeria, with agents using deceptive practices to cajole their victims into purchasing properties they had no right to sell. These agents put pressure on clients to make payments without properly verifying what they are buying. And once these payments are made, the sellers disappear, leaving the victims to suffer whatever consequences come next. In March 2023, the Federal High Court in Abuja sentenced a certain Mercy Yusuf to 24 years in prison for $298,000 and 48 million naira in property fraud. The convicted realtor was charged with forgery, obtaining money by false pretense, and using fake documents to sell a property to their victim. While this one was successfully prosecuted by the EFCC and jailed by the court, one can only wonder how fraudsters manage to pull this off. How do real estate scammers convince clients to pay millions of naira for invisible properties? To help us answer this question, I reached out to everyone's favorite online engineer, Safola Johnny, who has dedicated his time to calling out these real estate scammers and educating Nigerians on how to properly vet properties before buying.
I have a lot of hearsay that comes to my comment. When I post videos relating to land, I get about 50 the first day, more and more like that. Then when I don't, maybe like once or 3 times a week, I get people talking about what happened to their land, they paid. I have a friend that bought from 2013 a property in Elerongbe, and I think he paid 1 million for the property or 2 million, I can't remember. And now they are telling that the property is still worth around 2 million. Okay, where is the land? Where is the allocation? He has not been able to get it. They said because the area is not developed yet, that for that reason they were not allocated. But when they were selling, they said the place is rapidly developing and it was instant allocation. He didn't get anything. Even when, at the point he wanted to get married, because he bought it while in university. When he wanted to get married, they told him that, he said he wanted to sell the land back. They were like, the best they could give him was 250,000 and they'll pay it instrumentally. It was terrible. And we get issues like that. I have people that said they bought 6 plots that they've not been able to get anyone. I have somebody again that he bought a particular property and he got a survey for 500 square meters for the land. And when they actually opened the land, I guess the developers forgot that they need circulation areas inside the space. I think they had about maybe 5,000 and they sold, or maybe 50,000, I don't know what it was. Then they sold it based on the amount of square meter on that particular site, not remembering that you use about 20% for circulation, the roads to get to those plots. You need some spaces for recreation areas and stuff like that. I don't think they considered all that. So when they wanted to open the estate, they had to cut everybody's plot from 500 to 300. You know,
Whoa.
Stuff like that. So that's bad planning on the developer's part. There's also the one where you have people that buy properties from developers. Developers themselves, they probably have maybe like 40 plots. But because the Omonile is not looking at that time, they try to expand. There are a lot of lands. There are a lot of developers that we know that they will do their front fence, their side fence, but they will not do their back fence. It's so that they can keep encroaching on Omonile land, pending the time that they will come and fight you, because they will never be able to provide the COO for the person they sold to. And there's also the issue of overselling. You have a property where you are selling at 2 million each. You have maybe 50 of them. That's a total of how much is that? 100 million. Abi?
Yeah.
And you've already taken a celebrity that is charging you 15 million to do celebrity endorsement for you. Please, how much is remaining for you to? So that's where corner cutting actually starts from. They start encroaching on lands, they start overselling. Sometimes they have only 50 plots and they've sold to 200 people, hoping that when the day finally comes, they'll find what to do. There are so many. There are so many names that I've heard that they've consistently given people issues, but because I have no confirmatory information, I can't really speak to it. So what I did was, sometime early last year, when the issues became serious, I picked the most popular one and I started buying. I actually bought it just for research purposes, and I paid the final payment in December because I also chose the payment plan. And the total amount I was to pay, I think, was about 3 million. We finished paying the money and they told us that we will pay development levy 500,000, we pay documentation fees 2 million. All the fees they shall counted was like 3.5. And I'm like, land I bought is just 2 million. Why didn't you guys tell me all this? They said, we didn't ask.
Wow.
So if not for the fact that I knew that it was for research purposes, I wouldn't have, I knew stuff, I expected stuff like that to happen. And I started paying that one because I want to actually see the end of it. I can't use 3 million for research. I actually need to see my land. So we've gone ahead to pay part of the documentation fees. Now I'm sure when we get there too, there will be some planning fees. They will just keep. The aim is just to take money from the masses. That's why they usually have so many nice payment plans. You hear something as low as 1,000 naira per day. They say land is 3 million naira. We have 365 days in a year. They tell you that you can pay over the course of 2 years. The land is 2 million and you can pay 1,000 per day. So when you are done paying after 2 years, after paying after 2 years, you've not even paid 1 million naira. You understand? So the aim, I don't think for most of them, the aim is to actually sell anything to you. It's just to have a product to make money from the masses. Because the people that are well enlightened and well informed and use professionals never fall victim to stuff like that.
But why do people fall for this scam so easily? It was recently reported that more than 500,000 land scams occur annually in Lagos and Ogun State. In 2021, more than 500 people were alleged to have been defrauded of 8 million naira each by a real estate firm in Lagos State that gave these people fake lands without title documents. I wanted to understand why people would willingly part with these sorts of money without properly consulting with a lawyer or verification with the right authorities. If these mistakes are avoidable, why do people make them?
While it's not fair to blame the victim, it's still the victim has to take part of the blame. It's like you don't lock your house and a thief comes in. Yes, the thief is responsible, but you too, you did not lock your house. Due diligence is important, as I said before.
Yeah.
Just because somebody put an ad on Facebook or they pay a celebrity to endorse them does not guarantee that they are doing the right thing. You understand? They set up a business with CAC. That does not guarantee that they are not fraudulent in their activities. You understand? What one needs to do is to make sure that they follow through on what they are doing. There was an ad, sometimes me too, I try to see what is going on in the market.
Yeah.
I pick up my phone when I see an ad. Someone said, I reached out to somebody, they were selling, is a popular company as well. They said they were selling the property in whether Ekpe or thereabouts. I asked them, can I see the survey on your land? They said there's no survey. That if the survey that I'm looking for, I'm not going to see. You understand? That is already a red flag. I should have just ended the call there. You understand? Because those that claim to be selling in that area, they are selling like 2 million naira, 3 million. You are selling your own 400,000. Why? You understand? It does not guarantee that the low price that the scams, high prices too can scam.
Yeah.
But when I asked for the survey, they couldn't produce it. Okay, what's the title? They said C of O in view. Okay, C of O in view. What was the original title on the land? They said freehold. Said that area that you are mentioning, I need to look at the survey to confirm that it's not those places that are marked for forestry. Because not everywhere that is in Lagos that you can build house on. There are some places that are strictly for agriculture. There are some places that are strictly for commercial activities. There are some places that are strictly for industrial activities. But I asked that question and they couldn't produce a sensible answer. So what ended it, I had to drop the call. But imagine all the other people that went through buying those properties. And
Nigeria currently needs 28 million housing units to adequately provide accommodation for its population. Now, while lots of us will see a housing crisis that needs urgent attention, and as usual, the government, some other people see an opportunity to build a fortune. Yes, real estate is a very lucrative business. Aside from properties appreciating in value over time, the rising population of the country has made the business even more lucrative to landlords who build houses and put them out for lease, especially in highly crowded cities like Lagos. As a commercial hub in Nigeria, the city of Lagos is home to many businesses, both the conventional and unconventional ones. Businesses that attract the attention of people from far and wide. When these people travel, they need a place to stay. So, real estate is a hot cake here. Take for instance, this is the Synagogue Church of All Nations. Sometime in 2013, neighbors of this church had to convert their homes to hotels as thousands of people, both locals and foreigners, trooped in to see the man of God in expectation of some miracles. People in need of accommodation reportedly paid registration fees to agents ahead of time. Some 2,000 naira, some 5,000 naira, depending on what they were looking for. As expected, some people were scammed, but others got these accommodations in makeshift hotels that were made available by neighbors of this church. Whether or not the miracle seekers got what they came for, the neighbors pretty much partook in the miracle, as some of them made lots of money from unlikely sources, namely their homes. Also, with the way inflation is hitting Nigeria hard, some salary earners are more inclined to put their savings into real estate so as not to see the value evaporate overnight. This desire to invest in something tangible has led many people into the hands of dubious agents that prey on the naivety of their victims. With little resources to consult professionals, some of these new investors give their money to fake property agents and roadside surveyors who do poor jobs of verification of land documents. This has played out many times, leading to people losing their money to shady real estate companies time and again. But what are some of the real estate scams you should look out for? How do you spot a shady real estate company or agent to avoid being swindled of all your savings?
you know the way our parents always tell us, and once you see one small money like this, just go and buy land. Those were when there was still some sense of honesty, and those people that bought those land then, they bought it to go and stay there. A lot of us buy land that we don't even know where it is. They say the land is in Ekpe, they say the land is in Ipejuleki, is in Ishawu, is in Ikorodu. It's never somewhere that you can actually go to You understand? So they tell you the land is there. They usually build one fine gate in the front, and they tell you, oh yeah, come and key into this estate. And you too, you have only 2 million naira to spare. They said it's 2 million. You drop it. Agency fee you did not pay. Consultation fee for surveyor, lawyer, everything you could not pay. You don't even know whether the C of O is valid. Some you see C of O in view, as if they are you see something like excision in view, like they are the ones that are the government.
When researching this story, I asked for victims of real estate scams to reach out with their stories. When reading through their entries, one particular one stood out. Some couple of years back, particularly in 2014, a public servant had heard of an affordable housing scheme being run by the Nigerian Labour Congress in conjunction with an entity called Christian Lally. He bought into this program because he didn't believe the Nigerian Labour Congress could ever be associated with anything fraudulent. They were asked to contribute 10% of the home value, and a year later, they would get the keys to the home. He opted for a 6.5 million naira 3-bedroom bungalow and paid 650,000 naira. The rest of the money was to be paid off between 2 to 10 years. All of a sudden, they discovered that the Federal Capital Development Authority, FCDA, had not approved any land for the NLC to carry out this scheme. Mind you, these unsuspecting public servants already paid for the said properties. Christian Lally, who was in charge of obtaining the financing and coordinating the subscribers, had somehow managed to oversubscribe the land, and there appears to be some form of embezzlement of the funds. When I saw this story, I could only imagine the pain of these public servants. They were eventually refunded, but only a percentage of the money was paid back. Real estate companies are becoming fond of overselling or oversubscribing their properties to clients in the hope of making more sales to cover their huge overhead costs. This is basically selling more land than what is available. Even when their properties are sold out, some of these top real estate companies continue to sell to unsuspecting clients who have no way of verifying what is being sold to them. These companies then tend to launch something fondly referred to as Phase 2 estates and allocate lands to clients that have paid. Most times, these Phase 2 estates are in locations different from what the clients were told. This has become a common scam with real estate companies in Nigeria. Another prevalent scam is the fake title documents. Failure to properly check and verify title documents can cost you your life savings. It is no news at this point that most of the lands being advertised by real estate companies do not even have titles or the proper titles. Some will tell you that the documents are being processed without any way to properly verify their claims. It is alleged that fake title document scam is now so widespread in the industry that even top real estate agencies sometimes share fake coordinates to deceive potential buyers. Then there is the hidden charges. While there are fees and charges required from every investor in the real estate sector, like survey fees, legal fees, and the likes, some real estate agencies go the extra mile to milk their clients by adding something called administrative fees. Some have said that these administrative fees can be as high as 50% of the property's asking price, and sometimes even more. But you know what is worse? The fees are not disclosed to the clients until they make payments and documents are given to them, only to realize that they are deeply indebted to these dubious companies. There is this scam of no allocation until you pay certain fees like legal and survey, for example. Some companies use this as a trap to keep you while they oversell their properties. Other scams in the industry include overpricing, fake property listing, and advance fee fraud. So how can one guard against these scams?
You need surveyors. They went to school for this thing. They know the in and out of it. It's just like me now, I know nothing about health. If I'm coughing, the first thing I'll do, I'll go on Google and say, why am I coughing? Google will tell me I have cancer. So what I do instead is that I go to a doctor. If I don't have health insurance, they'll charge me between 5,000 and 20,000. They'll check me and they'll tell me, guy, you don't have what they are saying you have. You probably flew from the flu that is going around, because we know that there's a flu going around. Just take this medicine and you'll be fine in 2 days. You get? I don't know that, I will never know that, but they went to school for it, so they know. And they're actually active in the industry to know that there's actually an outbreak of flu. You know, this the way we all get sick around Harmattan time during rainy season and all that. That's the same way these lawyers know these things. Sometimes they don't even need to go and do any research. Once they hear the name of the estate, they hear the name of the developer. We've checked this guy for another client before, we know it's a scam. They will just collect your money and tell you, yeah, it's a scam, don't buy it. And that's it. They've worked for it. Yeah. And you should get used to using professionals, and not just professionals, registered professionals. A surveyor that does a survey for you is registered with Nigerian Institute of Surveyors, and SOCON, that's Surveyors, Council of Surveyors in Nigeria. I can't remember the meaning. So they are registered with 2 agencies. If they do a survey for you that has a problem, go and take their matter to NIS or SOCON. They are going to suspend that person until investigation is complete. You understand? There are bodies that do these things. And one thing I know about Nigerians is that we hate paperwork. Instead of you to write a letter to SOCON that SOCON will stamp and say they saw the letter and they are going to investigate, you go there and go and shout. Nobody's recording, nobody stored anything. You go there, you shout and you leave. If the boss was not around and he comes the next morning, you never know anything happened. But if you take a letter there complaining, 2 copies, they will stamp your own and stamp their own and say they received the letter. That means it's already sealed that they have to investigate for that, and that's what we don't do. We like using mouth to run things. Same with construction. You want to hire a builder to build your house. The builder tells you that it's 30 million that will build your house. They are pricing it to 15 million like it's Okrika.
In 2021, the Nigerian Senate passed a real estate regulatory bill to help contain fraud in the Nigerian real estate sector. The bill was meant to establish a real estate regulatory council of Nigeria that would help protect Nigerians from fraudulent companies. The establishment of a real estate regulatory council of Nigeria was meant to provide efficient, effective, and transparent administration of real estate business development in Nigeria. Well, as of May 31st, 2023, these lawmakers are still agreeing with themselves, and no real progress has been made. I know we like to call out the government for every ill that plagues the country. And yes, the Nigerian government has shady people in power that should not even be making decisions for themselves. But why should you leave the safety of your money, your investment, in the hands of people that care so little about you? In a country with over 28 million housing deficit, there's bound to be some terrible humans trying to capitalize on the situation to scam people of their money. So I think it is your job to be diligent in your research when trying to get property. Make sure to do the necessary findings by yourself. Employ the services of a professional and follow up to make sure they are doing the job you paid them to do. And don't hire a quack, otherwise you'll be gambling your money away. Well, enough said. The question in my head right now is real estate in Nigeria worth investing in though? I want to try it out and find out for myself. I've spoken to experts, I've done a lot of research. Now, I want to take you on a journey as I try to acquire a property. This is going to take months, but I'll do it. First, I'll call this number I saw for a very cheap property. Buying land in Abuja for 1,000 naira daily. This should be super interesting. Let's go on a ride.
All right. I love the end part of that very video. It says it is your job to do the necessary findings before investing or going into real estate or patronizing any. See, anybody can do it. Anybody can wake up tomorrow and call himself or herself a realtor or a developer or whatever it is. Now, like I said earlier, this conversation is not to scare you from investing or going into real estate. It is just to make you understand and expose your mind to the fact that if you're not careful, if you're not going through the right... See, real estate is not something that you can cut corners. We have black markets. We have petrol black market. If you cannot go to the bank to withdraw, you use POS. There are, several other organizations or industry that has alternative. The banking sector has so many alternatives. Petroleum, you can get petrol from black markets from anywhere. Even at that, you can even buy the one that will damage your engine. There is no alternative when it comes to real estate. You must do it the right way. You need to be very careful. I've seen videos of people, come out to talk about the fact that they've been scammed and all that. You wouldn't want to fall victim of, after saving so much money, and then you just lose everything within a twinkle of an eye to one fake agent or fake developer and all that. That is why it is key. Conversations like this and programs like this comes your way to help you, to broaden your horizon and just make you understand the reality on ground in order for you to make the best decision and not to fall prey to any trap or something. How do they put that in English now? But then I hope somebody out there has been able to learn. All right? Real estate business is good. Real estate business is great. Real estate business is one of the best decisions you can ever make. Real estate investment is one of the best decisions you can ever make. But then you would be happy at the end of the day or cry woe if you want to cut corners or you want to do it the other way. So it is key you do your due diligence, your due diligence. And like I said, it is your job to do the necessary findings. It is your job to ask questions. Don't be in a hurry to drop your money. And anybody one of the ways, I think I've discussed it, I'm going to bring that topic again. One of the ways you can identify fake real estate agents is the fact that they hurry you to pay. You hear words like, pay for it now. There are so many people on that property. If there are so many people on that property, then the property shouldn't be available again. Just like one of our very beautiful, awesome estates, Billionaires Gulf City. In less than no time, the city and the estate is sold out. So if an agent is telling you, pay now, there are so many people on B, that is a red flag. I'm telling you. You get it now. So you just have to be very careful. I hope this session, I hope this session has been an eye-opener for someone out there, and you have absolutely no reason to make any further mistakes when it comes to doing real estate. Thank you very much. All right. I'll see you again at 4 p.m. Hi, my name is David Ibiam. Come with me as I take you through a journey of all the goodies P1 Plus has to offer. My man. If you're meeting us for the first time, we are a multiple award-winning real estate company with a track record of excellence and great customer satisfaction. And here is a list of the estates and locations prices that we have.
A whopping sum of 3 million naira gets you a plot of land at Billionaire Colony by Cedarwood.
Billionaire Resort by Cedarwood is still selling at 12 million naira.
Billionaire Island by Cedarwood Phase 7 is still 7 million naira. Take advantage of this price before the price review.
Billionaire City by Cedarwood is currently 20 million naira per plot, and Billionaire Island by Cedarwood Phase 4 is 9 million naira per plot.
So you can get a slice of 464 square meter at Billionaire Resort by Cedarwood Phase 2 for as low as 7.5 million naira right now, up until August 6th, after which the price changes to 12 million naira. Thank you.
Billionaire Island by Cedarwood Phase 8 is still up and selling for 5.5 million naira.
Also selling is Lush Garden Phase 4 extension Aba, going for 3.5 million naira. You can also get Cedarwood City Phase 2 Owerri, going for 5.5 million naira.
Virtually everyone is talking about Billionaires Gulf City by Cedarwood. You've probably heard them say that it was sold out in 10 days. As far as real estate in Asaba is concerned, Billionaires Gulf City by Cedarwood is the best thing since sliced bread. If you missed acquiring a parcel of land in the maiden phase of the series, Billionaires Gulf City by Cedarwood 2 is here. Same neighborhood, same design outlook, same plot options and more features. Billionaires Gulf City by Cedarwood 2 promises twice as much the experience. Subscribe today.